All right, guys, welcome to another evening with me, your lovely caster. And this evening, we have ourselves a little storm action. We got Luxorian Sun facing off Abusement Park, and later on, we'll be watching Luxorian Sun face off against FWC Esports. Now, this should be a good one as both teams, Luxurian Sun having some new blood in the team, Abusement Park being pretty solid overall this season. They haven't been, dominating in the standings, but they are up there in how well they've been performing. Now, Abusement Park is in the top four, or they are number 4 right now. Luxurian Sun, they're number 12 right now, so it's a little bit of a gap between the two teams there. If we go and take a look at some of the stats on what these two teams play, if we can, here we go, Storm Division, and we'll get that up. Now, we're going to see the Johanna ban come out pretty quickly from Luxorian Sun. Now, that's not a very typical ban, so let's go and take a look at what these guys normally play in Abusement Park, because it would make a lot of sense if this were typically what they would actually play. So we're going to take a look at the team details, if this will actually load appropriately. We can't get the stats to load correctly. All right, there we go. So Johanna, if we go and take a look in, we're going to find a Johanna in 4 of the games for Abusement Park. So this is a great ban, actually. And she had 100% success rate. So this is very, very targeted, obviously. The Abathur ban and the Diablo ban, I really like this. Abathur is very potent on this map and on any macro heavy map, especially when you can delay it, and the way Cursed Hollow works with the fact that very little value out of the actual objective individually. You actually only get value out of the objective once you have once you have a bunch of tributes. You need 2 out of 3, and then the third one gets you the curse. So you can basically delay out 2 of those 3 as long as possible to get maximum value. And Abathur will just collect up as much XP as he can. The Muradin pickup is definitely really nice. The Hanzo, they're looking for the boss control with it, and taking Muradin, banning out Garage, Johanna, and Diablo, this is going to definitely put him with a less significant tank. I mean, we're looking at not necessarily the best pool for Abusement Park to work with right now. The Dahaka, definitely really nice. At this point, they have the global control that Luxorian Sun will have to try to match. It's going to be obviously a lot harder to match it, because a lot of the choices available are going to be not nearly as valuable. And we're going to see Karazim and Mouthveil come out. So I don't know if this is a play to just dive on White Mane, or something else. The Mouthveil to get the Death Comes on a Pale Horse, so he can rotate and have a pseudo global out of it with the 20% extra movement speed. That's what they could be thinking here on the side of Luxorian Sun. And so they are going to wind up with Anubarak, with the Li Ming in tow. So this is going to be Hell in a Cell kind of style. I feel like you eventually, if you can make it to 20, you have Dahaka's Contagion, you have White Mane, who's going to probably get Divine Reckoning, I assume, and then you have the Burrow, Cocoon to take out one person, and Li Ming, who's dropping some bombs. Now, they also go with the Zeratul. Zeratul is going to put a little damper on if they go for the cage instead of the containment desk. Now, I I like the draft, I feel like, of Lux a little bit more. Not tremendously more. The fact that they have a better tank, but they also have a very interesting draft between the Karazhan, the Malthael, the Zeratul. Like, they should be able to get onto Whitemane and just obliterate her. Whether or not that actually plays out is going to be an entirely different story. Or if they can get onto even Li Ming. Now, Cocoon is not going to save the day with all those people diving in. There's 1, 2, 3 people who can directly dive in. Malthael, who can if he gets the Reaper's Mark on him. And there is still the execution capability of Last Rites, which I'm not sure if they'll go for it here. They are dealing with a nub who does have a smaller health pool to begin with. So on the flip side, though, they have the Whitemane, they have the Dahaka, they have the Mayab. These are a lot of really, really strong heroes. And then they have the Li Ming for the resets, should they actually. Well, it'll really come down, I feel like, to how well Zeratul is utilized on the side of Luxorian Sun. So we're going to hop on into the game, as game number 1 is going to kick off. We got Nitty on the Li Ming, Mason Blaze on the Dahaka, Energy is going to be on the Mayab, Rossi on the Whitemane, and Chips on the Nabarak. And that is going to be Abusement Park. On the other side, we got Bay State on... I actually can't see who he is. And there you go, the Muradin. We have Electra going to be on the Malthael. We're going to have Swoop on the Zeratul. Rain is going to be playing the Hanzo. And finally, Haze is going to be on the Karazhan. And that will be a Luxorian Sun. So we're going to kick things off quite slowly here. They're looking for the rotation from the mid lane to the bot lane to potentially get the gank. But Zeratul is essentially looking for rotations as well in the meantime. We'll have Electra rotating on up very safely, might I add. And I really like that. That's one of those things you'll see in lower games where players will just rotate and not be cognizant of who's on the map. And then they get ganked, and all of a sudden on a map this size, you can lose significant XP. The rotation from Luxorian Sun, they're looking for Nitty. The stun is not going to land, and they don't even get the extra damage from Swoop. Swoop a miss in there with potentially the last bit of damage, but so does Bay State miss with the last bit of damage and really the key stun necessary to get it. However, they show Li Ming who's boss in there, and they mean a lot of action. So they're going to get an early night camp. I like this as long as they don't cap it too early. They are losing mid lane soak right now, and Lux should just hop on over, which he will, to make sure that they do not lose any further. So Siege Camp has been taken. Bless RNG for Abusement Park. And at this point, well, Abusement Park is not going to have to worry too much about the top. But we're going to have Chips coming on in, and the pull from Energy, and 4-man Bay State 8 going to be getting out of there just fine. So the rotation from mid to bot, not netting anything. However, they picked up these Siege Giants a little early because we still don't have an objective, which means this isn't actually going to put any pressure on Luxorian Sun. In the meantime, they get the Siege Camp, and well, it goes away, and they can just rotate up free and dandy without anyone like impeding them. And look how much value they got out of this. They're going to actually get themselves a single tower, maybe almost a single tower. We're looking at a single hit to get a tower, which is going to really put additional pressure. You can see like they haven't actually started their own camp, and they are starting the actual siege camp. However, this is actually kind of a flip side. Now, it would have been more valuable for Luxorian Sun to actually pick up these siege earlier, because what tends to happen is you'll have the 5v5, and the 5v5 will result in a fairly easy clear, as you will have 4 members and 1 delaying or whatever combination to clear out these siege. And now they have picked up the night camps right before the tribute, but they don't have all members there, with energy coming on in late in the meantime. Bay State gonna hop on over with the big old body of Muradin able. There comes the pull, gonna get themselves too. But Electra is very far forward. Energy is going to be able to make it on out of there by just dodging. And now Luxorian Sun is going to have to back on off because they have to be concerned about two things. They have to be concerned about the Night Camp over here and trying to fight 5v4. So first tribute will not be uninterrupted. A Rain trying to get the Sonic Arrow value over there, but alas he did not. And during this time, Mason Blaze just going bottom, getting the wave to be disintegrated by the towers. A little XP lost on the side of Luxorian Sun because of that. Electra needs to be very careful about where his position is, and Rain needs to be a little bit more careful. We'll be able to hop on over that wall as the 3-man is not going to be able to secure the kill, and we'll have Haze coming on up to ensure that, well, no soak is lost. On the other side, well, let's take a look what we have for talents. We got the On the Pale Horse, Die Alone. We have the Arrow build as expected. We got the Greater Cleave and Rending, Third Wing, Thunderburn. We have the Earth Ally and the Iron Fist. And 7s are being just about to come online for both sides, with 7s just being jump started a little bit earlier by Luxorian Sun. We have the full Burrow. We got the Bonds of Justice, the Blade Dance. We have the full Q and the Fanatical Power instead of being able to remove any CC. We also have the Feeding Frenzy, the One Who Collects, and Tissue Regen. Force Armor, Dominance, and Calamity. So Force Armor here makes a lot of sense with all the ability damage. This is a really smart choice. Nade taking a bunch of damage. There's an orb going to hit Muradin in the face, and, well, really nothing to do there for Abusement Park. Swoop coming on in, going to be dropping some damage onto Chips, but just really chipping him when it's all said and done. So we have Rain clearing up bottom. You can see, once again, Siege Giants are not getting any value really for the side of Abusement Park. They're getting them, but they're not doing anything. It's one of those situations where it feels like Abusement Park knows that you're supposed to pick up these merc camps, but they don't know why or when they should actually be picking up these merc camps. But they do know how to get themselves a Zeratul kill, because this is going to be a much easier tribute and going to delay them from actually being able to rotate. Now, I'd like Haze to make sure energy does not rotate down, and they should just sack this tribute and soak as much as they can. They have no one in the top lane, though. This is very unfortunate for Luxorian Sun. The rotation, though, from Bay State is going to be perfectly in time to catch the entire top while we have Electro working on the Night Camp. So at this point, we have a Rain coming on in, and in the mid lane, a 3v1, and no matter how furious Karazim's fist may be, those fists can't hit 3 people simultaneously. So Knights will be picked up very early once again. I wish they would delay it at least until the tribute starts counting down, because that's roughly 30 seconds before it spawns. And so you have plenty of time to clear once again on the other side. And, you know, they do have the 10 advantage now, so they can get very aggressive in the meantime. They have the 10 advantage, couldn't push in, get the towers, and start opening up this map. In the bot lane, however, Electra is going to be 2v1ing. He can't die here. We got Swoop coming on in, going to try and save the day, and will kill energy in the meantime. Electra surviving. They get a kill, and they're pushing in mid. This is Value Town, baby. So Bay State going to come on out with the jump, but Chips coming on in with a big burrow and a big follow-up stun. But this is a 4v3, not the situation you want. Bay State taking a ton of damage, will hit the Avatar just to be safe. Dahaka sitting on up there, and they will have energy ready to roll. However, this is a bad scenario for Luxorian Sun now, because they've lost the Avatar. Avatar is the meat and potatoes of Muradin. Without the Avatar, there's a very likely not going to be much of a fight. Bay State going to be pulled on back, does not have the Dwarf Cross available. Haze is getting low, will be able to get on out. They get the tribute in just a few seconds, and the Void Prison, Haze will get out of there in time, and that is going to be all they can get out of that. This is perfectly executed from Luxorian Sun on that retreat, in a beautiful Void to save the day. So this is really nice for Luxorian Sun. They have Rain. They're starting the boss. The boss is going to be in the bot lane, which is not the optimal scenario for this boss, but nonetheless, this boss is going to get a lot of value. There's a tower down, which means that it's significantly easier. However, look at the HP pulls of all the Luxorian members. Swoop, Rain, and Haze are all rather low. Now, they're going to have to deal with this boss. They're going to soak, but it's going to just be a delay game to force them to come back. The Hocket is top. They're actually fighting a 5v4 as it is right now. There's the pull. They don't have Avatar out yet. There's the Avatar. Electric going down really fast, though. And the beautiful heal from Rossi will keep them all topped off and fine and dandy because, well, it's a lot of armor on top of that, and they're going to just delay it as much as possible. Chip's not going to land the stun onto Rain. Sidestep King Rain, maybe? But the boss is going to still get the value. They get the curse. They lose Electra, who went a little too deep, but nonetheless, they get the boss. However, they're going to lose quite a bit. We got Haze trying to clear this up in the meantime. We'll have Swoop coming on in to help deal with it, and Rain in tow as well. So they have the full 4-man in the bottom, which isn't necessarily the most optimal place to push for Abusement Park. And that's largely because of the fact that if they were to take a boss right now, it would be in the top lane. So if you take down the top lane, you get more value out of it versus, well, Luxorian's boss is much easier for them to take and much harder for Abusement Park to take. So if Luxorian Sun can keep this under their control, this boss, for the rest of the game, taking the bot lane is not going to be nearly as valuable. Additionally, we already had a tribute down here. We got Swoop coming on in. Going to play a ward here. And in the meantime, oh, take a look what's going on here. They are actually trying to take the boss in the meantime. Dahaka's up there, not actually going to be able to scout him out. But the entire team is rotating up simultaneously. They're about to finish this, and before they get in, Nitty coming on in. They do have the Wave of Force. There's one, and there's the resets. And they are not going to get the boss in time. Rain trying to make it over the wall, but Energy says, come to me, baby. And there is 4 members down. We are going to watch that once again as they now get massive value. I mean, we're not going to watch that again because clip did not actually take. Sorry about that. But that's so much value. They take the boss, they take 4 kills, and, well, they're walking onto the top lane. They're actually going to back on off? Yeah, they're backing on off, going to let the boss get as much value. They're not a lot more they can get safely. However, they do have Merlin. They're looking for it. He does try to dwarf toss. We'll have to hit the Avatar. Cocoon coming on out, but this gives them time to actually come and save base state. Cocoon will come on out or be, well, destroyed, and that is going to be all they can get. Chips, unfortunately, using it, the Cocoon, when they really didn't need it. So they're picking up the Night Camp. They're trying to relieve some pressure. They have Dahaka in bottom. They have Electra in top. This is a 5v4. This is not a fight they really want to take right now. Base State going to be pulled on in, and they're looking for him. He does get the Thunderclap, but the follow-up stun, the isolation, but a beautiful arrow from Rain will keep him from getting the kill. And that would have actually snowballed him into 16, which would have been really brutal, because then they can start pushing in bot or top. Energy looking for Electra. There's the Unstoppable, and he'll be walking out perfectly fine. Now, if you're Luxorian Sun, they should basically be looking for 16 and not looking for the fight, in my opinion. This is very, very risky. Trying to fight here, 16 versus 15, they should have backed out a long time ago. Electra will be able to get on out from there. Base Day. Oh no, Energy coming on in. There's the cleanse. Chips going on in deep. There's the cage. There's the VP to try and save the day. But 2 members of Luxorian Sun are trapped in that, unfortunately. The Scarlet Aegis comes out as well. Electra will go down. Base State 8 will or sorry, Bay State will go down as well, and 2 members of Luxorian Sun going down over a tribute that wasn't even going to give curse to Abusement Park. That was definitely a clutch mistake, because now look what's happening. Boss is available. They still do not have 16, and this could potentially take down the bot lane depending how things go. Swoop has to be very careful here. They should be looking to have one person cap top, get the curse, and defend the bot lane as best as they can. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to have Haze rotate on up, but there's still 15 seconds, which gives them plenty of time to rotate. So Haze is in no man's land right now. They do have the siege pushing on up, but that's exactly why they're rotating on up, because they want to get the tribute, and they also want to get the siege. Bay State, though, is in a complete island. He's going to try to dwarf toss out. Energy pulls him back in, wants to give him a group hug, and Electra and Bay State will be going down in a blink of an eye. The Dragon's Arrow will come out from Rain, but it will not matter whatsoever. They do get the curse, which is going to alleviate some pressure and allow them to get some value simultaneously, as you can see in the top lane. Now, oh, he's taking it right to the face. Now, they are down multiple members. This is very ballsy. They are going to get the bot fort for free. Siege Camp is up in 15 seconds. Curse is in another 30 seconds. So there's a 15-second differential there, which means that they can start working on those siege camps if they so chose. However, they just showed in the bot lane, but they do have Rain, Haze, and Swoop. They should be able to pick up this siege camp really, really quickly. And as you can see, that's exactly what they're going to start doing. However, there's the rotation. No one getting on there. The burrow coming on out. They know exactly where Luxorian Sun is. There's the cocoon. Haze is now trapped like a rat. The VP coming on out. Rain trying to juke and jive, and there's Swoop dropping some damage. A big stun from Rain. The Avatar coming out. Last Ride's going to do absolutely nothing. Reset City. Nitty, here we come, baby. Energy chasing on in, and that's going to be 3 members of Luxorian Sun. Mason Blaze coming in from the back. That's another one bites the dust. And can you say another one, because Bay State is going to be going down here very shortly. Oh, beautiful stun from Bay State. Might be able to keep him alive though. But nope, another one bites the dust. Siege Giant getting a little value. They do finish off the tower, and they open up the gate, and they're working on another tower simultaneously. But they lost all 5 members, and in the race to 20, this is not looking good now. Luxorian Sun had the early game looking good, but they've made so many mistakes now that it's very, very difficult for them to win this at this point. They lost the boss control. They gave up an insane amount of kills. They overstayed in the bot lane and had Swoop showing. And at the same time, well, they knew where Swoop was, and they figured, well, they have to be here. At the same time, even if they didn't show, it was very risky, especially once Knights were picked up. So they're now trying to fight their way to 20 Luxorian Sun, but with a boss marching down the top lane, this is a guaranteed 20, as they'll pick up at least one of these towers, and 20 will come alongside with it. Electric just sitting in the bush, trying to soak this up, and he does have the ability to rotate much faster with on a pale horse. It looks like he'll be rotating back fully, as he expects, well, a full 5-man fight here. Dahaka going to be coming on in, looking for the grab. The stun from Bay State not going to hit, and Nitty going to toss him around like he's tossing a salad. Now, boss is at 50%. They could still survive here. There comes the stun. The cleanse onto Swoop. He will be able to get on out, but the follow-up from Chips is going to be good. We get the cocoon coming on, and the boss is going to be knocking on that keep, and then Energy drops that Warden's Cage, but not going to pick up a kill quite yet. They're delaying it just enough for this boss to just be finished off mostly by the keep. So they are not going to be able to end the game with this. So this is a very solid defense. Look at how many heroics were just burnt on the side of Abusement Park with nearly no gain. Now, a keep is gain, but they aren't able to close out the game while using all those heroics, which is very unfortunate. But it's well, not going to be good enough. The bush. Chips coming on in, popping the burrow a little early, not getting the right angle. There's the VP. Bay State coming on in hot with that dwarf toss. The arrow's going to connect. Beautifully done with swoop and say goodbye to Rossi. There are no more heals. Lazarus going to connect, and they are turning this around. There comes the heals. Rain going to get on back out of the fight. We got 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Reset City Nitty is going to be helping to clear this up. Electra trying their best, but it is a 4 for 2 in favor of Abusement Park. And let's cross our fingers. There we go. We're going to see some sick, nasty plays here. We get all of that coming on in. Nitty with a beautiful wave of force to try and deter Luxorian Sun from actually womboing perfectly. And, well, they finish off one, and Nitty just pops off like he's popping some balloons there. And, well, there you have it. A free keep, all for Abusement Park to take. Now, 20 is around the corner. Curse is around the corner, though, too. And that leaves literally only a single keep left. And with catapults coming on down, they won't even have waves to help hold it back. And there's a boss. There's a boss in 1:40 in the top lane. And so they're in a bit of a bind here. They have to defend the lanes, but they also have to simultaneously defend this boss. Chips looking for it. Not going to find it.
Blue team's core is under attack.
Chips coming on in hot. Rain's going to be connected with the cleanse. Is going to let Rain get on out. Very nicely done from Hayes. And there's the pull. Bay State not going to even notice it. Swoop coming on in hot. There's a triple stun with the Dragon's Arrow. Play of the game coming on in. Not going to really do a whole lot of good there. Energy getting chunked down from Rain using that simple geometry. The cleanse very nicely done by Hayes. The stun on Energy. The Warden's Cage. Say goodbye to Rain. There comes the VP. But there are 5 members waiting to blow someone up here. Electra is going to be next up on the list. Last rights, well, not going to do much. The palm, though, baby. Hayes going to be going on down. Swoop trying his best. This 20 versus 22 situation not looking so good for him. Swoop keeps stitching it out, juking and jiving, jumping around as that Zeratul. Swoop will survive temporarily, but I don't think they're going to actually be able to hold this core because Abusement Park has all 5 up with catapults. And GG to Abusement Park. So we're going to take a quick look at the stats. We're going to see, well, 84,000 from Nitty. Nitty can lift. Nitty's been working out. Lee Mink is the buffest. I mean, this is double any damage put out by the side of a Luxorian Sun. Maiev 50.7k as well. And the numbers, well, the rest you can see in terms of total DPS. Iron Fist Karazhan getting no value overall. And look at this healing. Monka S! 70k to almost 30k. This is hella Monka S right now. You're looking at over 2 times the healing output by White Mane. So, yeah, they didn't get value out of Malthao really at all. He unfortunately died a significant amount. The Swoop Rain Wombos were actually very good. The most awkward part about this is the Meltdale. They chose a solo laner. He died a lot, and he couldn't really combo with the Zeratul and the Hanzo, providing minimal value in my opinion. If you had someone like a Jaina, of course she can't solo lane, but if you had someone else like like maybe a Leoric who can actually march through everyone simultaneously, or even entomb them, it would have probably been overall much more valuable. So we're gonna hit game number 2 up, but just give me a second and we're gonna get replays going simultaneously. Also need to add a new image here as well, so just give me a second. All right, almost got it, almost got it. There we go, there we go. We're all good now.